Do you think Terence Crawford is approaching you in the proper way?
I think he's wanted the fight and doing respectful, you know. I want Canelo, I want Canelo.
Dos, tres, cuatro. Eso. Enjoy.
Canelo Alvarez reacted to footage of Floyd Mayweather training with Terence Crawford, staying unfazed. When asked about it, he confidently stated, "Enjoy," signaling his focus and determination. Canelo remains fully prepared for his own upcoming challenges, unaffected by outside distractions.
Eso. Venga. 5, venga. 1, 2, 3, 4. Eso. Enjoy.
Shaker Stevenson recently spoke about meeting Floyd Mayweather and Terence Crawford, expressing admiration for Floyd. He shared that Mayweather values surrounding himself with genuine people, which has deepened their connection. Shaker emphasized their close relationship, highlighting their growing friendship and mutual respect within the boxing community.
Seeing Floyd Mayweather and Terence Crawford all in the one place, and I know you put that together. You've played the game, and you put yourself in a position there to sort of create a moment. And there was a few viral moments from that outside. What's that sort of environment like for you? I get the feeling every time I speak to you, you're so locked in. Do you not feel anything when you're around everybody in the gym and you've got to do them spars?
It kind of just feel, back in the day, like, if you asked me this question, I probably would tell you, like, oh, it was so amazing. It was, but now I'm kind of so used to, like,
regular.
Yes, it feels so normal. Like, honestly, that's why me and, like, Floyd is so close now, because it's like, I'm a genuine person, and he like genuine people around. So
Canelo Alvarez, widely considered the face of boxing, addressed Terence Crawford's respectful approach to calling for a fight. Canelo acknowledged Crawford's interest, noting his respectful tone and avoidance of trash talk. Emphasizing his earned position in the sport, Canelo said, "You never know. Maybe one day I wake up and want to fight that guy." This statement reflects his openness to potential future matchups while reaffirming his status as a respected champion. Canelo's measured response shows respect for all fighters and upholds the integrity of the sport, while suggesting that anything is possible in boxing.
He went on the ring with Teddy Atlas.
What's that mean?
He said you're the most overrated Mexican champion in history. He said that Salvador Sanchez.
Boxeador mexicano.
Más
popular, pero sin causa.
Sí. Fucking crazy that guy. and you think he knows boxing? Fuck.
When Terence Crawford said that he moved up and won, and Canelo moved up and lost.
They talk all the crazy stuff about me going up and having a tough time, but he went up in weight and lost. That's the difference. I went up weight and won.
I don't think that was a strong point because Canelo Alvarez actually moved up and won. I mean, he moved up a lot of weight classes, but if you want to talk about light heavyweight, he moved up and he beat Cobra. Then he moved up again and he lost to Bivol. Terence Crawford, on the other hand, he moves up to 154. He won 115, 113, but it was just an 11-0 Madrimov who didn't really have much of a resume, right? But there's a difference, to be real. I mean, Bivol is a Hall of Fame. Okay, this guy, all-time light heavyweight. This is a bit different. Canelo did knock out Kovalev when he did move up, okay? And Kovalev is a bigger challenge at light heavyweight than Madrimov at 154 for Terence Crawford. Let's just keep.
Canelo previously stated he wouldn't drop weight to fight Terence Crawford, explaining that Crawford wanted the fight, not him. He noted people would criticize him for facing someone too small, and emphasized that Crawford's unique fighting style made the matchup less appealing to him.
Listen, Canelo needs to understand he's a different fighter now. The deterioration is there. He's not the same guy. He's not that destroyer who's looking for knockouts early and keeps a pace and a pressure on you. He throws 30 punches around. You're not the same guy. So telling everyone you're going to knock them out and then going into, 6 decisions in a row now? Scores a knockdown every time. Power's still there. The problem is the pace and the ability to carry on and push. That's the real difference, and that comes with age. He's 34 going on 45 at this, as far as I'm concerned. He's got a ton of fights, been around for a long time, doesn't have that same desire, the same drive to take the chances against these younger, bigger guys, because he is fighting younger, bigger guys. So you got to keep that in mind as well.
When he fought Canelo, and he was like standing right in front of Canelo, and Canelo's just whiffing, it was a life lesson. And then you look at how good Canelo's head movement got after that fight when he realized it. I mean, my God, when he fought Danny Jacobs, and Canelo's just standing right in front of him, bobbing and weaving. That's all what he learned from fighting.
Floyd's promoter, Eddie Hearn, shared similar concerns about the size difference between Canelo and Crawford. He expressed that a fight between the two may not earn Canelo much credit due to Crawford's smaller size. Hearn stated that Canelo wouldn't receive recognition for beating a lightweight, pointing out the potential narrative that Crawford is too small for such a matchup.
I don't think it's a fight Canelo really wants, if I'm honest, because I think he feels like he won't get a lot of credit beating a light middleweight. And Crawford's going to move a lot in that fight, which is not ideal for Canelo. But what's his options? I mean, like, you know, if Bivol wins, he could fight him for undisputed. That's a very tough fight. What's the other options? You know, Benavidez is up at 175. Obviously, His Excellency wants to make that fight, so guess we could see it next.
Shakur Stevenson has expressed strong confidence in Terence Crawford's abilities after meeting both Crawford and Floyd Mayweather. Stevenson believes people are underestimating Crawford, emphasizing that weight isn't the deciding factor in a fight, skills are. He confidently stated, "I think he can beat Canelo, as weight doesn't matter. Skills pay off."
I'm like this nice because of Bud. Like, me, truthfully, like, I done got better through the years. Like, not even just being in the ring with him, but even being outside the ring. Watching his demeanor, watching what he doing in his sparring, watching his training camp, how hard he trained. Like, dog, I owe Bud a lot, so I never even talk about too much sparring.
Yeah, I got you. Secure, everybody just keeps saying, bro, he lighting the ass, the weight. I'm like, yeah, all right.
Yeah,
what do you
but
say about that?
I think skills pay the bills.
Yeah.
And I feel like, truthfully, he's not as little as people think. Like, people think he's like very small.
He cut weight to get to 147, 154.
Yes. Yeah. He's not as small as like people think. It's just he look like it.
Yeah.
So like if you see him
in person
and he get on a scale or something, you wouldn't believe that's his weight.
I told somebody the other day, he might get on the scale weighing like 166, 167 fighting Canelo, and people wouldn't believe how ripped up and cut up he'll still look. He won't look like he's overweight Terence Crawford. He gonna look like a solid Terence Crawford.
I think he beat Canelo though. I've been saying I remember when he fought when they fought. Go watch an interview after the fight. I literally said I think Terence Crawford would beat Canelo.
Okay, I wouldn't say that.
A long time ago.
Canelo Alvarez has consistently stressed the importance of weight classes in boxing, believing that each fighter has an optimal weight where they perform best. In an interview, Canelo pointed out that Terence Crawford belongs in specific weight classes, emphasizing that Crawford's optimal performance is at 147 oz. This highlights Canelo's view that moving up in weight can affect a boxer's effectiveness. Canelo also downplayed Crawford calling him out, noting that many fighters have wanted to face him. Boxing legend Floyd Mayweather added his perspective, reflecting on his own experience fighting Canelo. Mayweather stated that Canelo was in his prime during their fight, while he himself was older.
It's crazy that, Canelo said that, because when Canelo fought me, he was in his prime. And when I fought, I was an old man. So I wasn't in my prime when I fought Canelo. I was an old man when I fought Canelo. Just like this right here, young guy, even though I'm old, I got a lot of experience. I'm gonna go out there and just show him that this is the elite level, and it's something totally different.
Floyd Mayweather remarked, "I was like 40 years old when I cooked this dude," suggesting that Canelo might not be as formidable as some believe. Mayweather's comments offer a unique perspective, given his undefeated record and vast experience in the ring. In response to Crawford calling him out, Canelo downplayed the significance, stating that everyone wants to fight him, so it's not a big deal. He emphasized that he's open to fights that make sense for his career and legacy. Canelo further added, "If the money is right, I'm in, acknowledging that financial incentives could influence his decisions. However, he also mentioned that he's not keen on fighting someone like Crawford, whose style, focused on movement, he finds less exciting, calling it boring. This reflects Canelo's preference for matchups that align more with his fighting style and entertainment value.
I think Crawford, don't get me wrong, he's a great fighter. But for me, in my weight class, it's an easy fight. For me, easy money. So if the money is right, I'm in. Because, you know, I don't like to fight guys like Crawford because he move a lot and the fight is not that great. I saw Crawford the last fight and he don't move that much now. So if the money is right, I mean, why not?
How you think he did at that weight, at 154? How you think Crawford did?
You know, they are a weight class for a reason, and you need to ask him. It's different. I know in his mind he think he can do whatever he wants because he's very talented fighter. He's a very good fighter. I like how he fight, but that's why there are weight classes. And he knows now.
Canelo Alvarez has expressed reservations about Terence Crawford's resume, suggesting that he has only defeated one truly notable fighter. He implied that Crawford's record lacks depth in terms of high-caliber opponents, expressing skepticism about Crawford's readiness to face him in the ring. In response, Crawford's trainer, Brian Bomack McIntyre, defended his fighter's record, arguing that Crawford's dominance makes his opponents appear ordinary. McIntyre emphasized that it's Crawford's exceptional talent that causes every fighter to look normal in comparison. His defense underscores the belief in Crawford's superior skills and adaptability, suggesting that Crawford's performances highlight his greatness rather than a lack of worthy opponents.
Tired of people asking you about Terence yet?
No, look, I always say, I respect Terence Crawford. He's a very talented fighter, but he just win one big fight. If you see his record, he just beat one good fighter like Errol Spence is. But other than that, I don't think he's beating other great fighter like Spence. He did a really good job with Spence. He did almost look very easy. But I knew Terence Crawford is a great fighter. But you never know in boxing.
Mikey Garcia shared his thoughts on a potential matchup between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, highlighting the challenges of weight and size. He pointed out that Canelo competes at 168 ounces, while Crawford recently moved up to 154, facing difficulties there. Garcia noted that Canelo isn't coming down below 166 ounces at most. While acknowledging Crawford's superior skill set, Garcia predicted that Canelo's size and power would give him the advantage in a fight. He emphasized the contrast between Crawford's technical ability and Canelo's physical advantages, suggesting that Canelo's strength and size would likely lead to his dominance.
I'm going with Terence Crawford. Big weight jump, a dangerous fight, but somebody's got to prove to me that they can break Terence Crawford's will and that he can't figure it out against you. It ain't no disrespect to Canelo, but I've said this the last couple of years. I'm not betting against Terence Crawford with nobody. You got to show me that you can beat.
Just a few weeks ago, you heard what Terence Bud Crawford had to say on why he wants to take on Saul Canelo Alvarez.
I just want the opportunity, to fight the best fighter in my generation that's out there. He's the most accomplished fighter, and I would just like to, fight another great.
Which is a very noble reason. I mean, it's a reason that I can get behind. If you notice, his primary reason isn't money. He did say it'd be the biggest fight, which, you do want a big fight, but I don't think he meant monetarily, which the money comes, okay? But what he's saying is he want to test himself versus the best. And I think he's telling the truth here, right? Of course you want big money and stuff like that, but I think his swan song is just him testing himself up against the very best. Those are the reasons the war room can get behind.
Mikey Garcia shared his thoughts on a potential matchup between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, highlighting the challenges of weight and size. He pointed out that Canelo competes at 168 pounds, while Crawford recently moved up to 154, facing difficulties there. Garcia noted that Canelo isn't coming down below 166 pounds at most. While acknowledging Crawford's superior skill set, Garcia predicted that Canelo's size and power would give him the advantage in a fight. He emphasized the contrast between Crawford's technical ability and Canelo's physical advantages, suggesting that Canelo's strength and size would likely lead to his dominance.
How do you see that? I'm not a big fan of that fight matchmaking because they're too many weight classes apart. And although the skills, Crawford is one of the best fighters that I've seen. I told him yesterday when I met him up last night there at the dinner, I was like, dude, you're a badass. Like, you've been a badass. You don't always get the recognition because of, politics and boxing and the favoritism here and there. But he truly does have the skills, and he's a great fighter. He's proven it multiple times, obviously. Now, Canelo is, fighting at 168. Crawford just moved up to 154, and he had some trouble with that in that fight. Now, where do you plan on going? 164, 65, 66? Canelo ain't gonna come down to 160. Yeah, Canelo ain't gonna come down, maybe 166 max if he accepts. I think Canelo wins that fight based on just the size, power and size. Now, skill-wise, I think Crawford's a better skilled fighter, but the difference in size will be the deciding factor.
Give me your opinion on how that fight plays out.
Man, it's interesting because of the weight class. We haven't seen Terence go up there, and will he have the power? But I do think that Terence has the skill and is a bit fresher than Canelo. So if I had to put my money on it, I would probably go with Terence.
I think Canelo destroys him.
Really?
I do.
Wow.
I mean, but most people think that, but they don't know.
I don't think
Canelo's
that
not
happens. I think Terence is just super talented at adjusting inside that ring. The weight will play a part. We'll see that when the fight happens, but I think that fight is going to be a lot more interesting than most people think.
What was the hardest punch you ever?
The much-anticipated showdown between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford seems set for September, according to ESPN's Mike Coppinger. Speculation surrounds the timing of a major card on Friday, May 2nd, potentially avoiding competition with Canelo's preferred Cinco de Mayo weekend fight. This highlights the excitement surrounding both fighters. If the schedule holds, fans could be treated to 2 Canelo fights this year, with Crawford possibly headlining the latter. The strategic timing also brings a sense of nostalgia for classic Friday night fights, adding a unique twist to modern boxing. A Canelo versus Crawford matchup would undoubtedly electrify boxing fans worldwide.
Saturday, but do you feel like a fight like Terence Crawford? I see he wants to fight. He's made it clear. Do fights like that help your legacy, or do you feel like that's something that's not worth it to you?
Everything in my career, every fight make my legacy different and better, no? Terence Crawford is a great fighter, he's a good fighter, but like I say, he's weight classes for a reason. I'm focused 100% on Berlanga, and then you never know what happened.
Yeah, for sure.
Just a few weeks ago, you heard what Terence Bud Crawford had to say on why he wants to take on Saul Canelo Alvarez.
I just want the opportunity, to fight the best fighter in my generation that's out there. He's the most accomplished fighter, and I would just like to, fight another great.
I mean, it's a reason that I can get behind. If you notice, his primary reason isn't money. He did say it'd be the biggest fight, which, you do want a big fight, but I don't think he meant monetarily, which the money comes, okay? But what he's saying is he want to test himself versus the best. And I think he's telling the truth here, right? Of course you want big money and stuff like that, but I think his swan song is just him testing himself up against the very best. Those are the reasons the war room can get behind.
In a recent interview, VC expressed confidence in a CANELO versus Crawford fight, dismissing concerns about weight differences. He emphasized that true fighters focus on skills, not excuses, stating, "If you accept the fight, get in there and fight." Boxing is about skill, not weight restrictions or unnecessary complaints.
Be great. That'll be 3 times. If you go 154 and win the belt, that's 3 times super. Then I said, chase super greatness. Come on, Canelo. 160.
Well, if he can get in there with Charlo in like his next 2 fights where he still got age on his side, then maybe go up again. Like if he's trying to chase the greatness. But I mean, he already done something that's never been done. Charlo don't want none of that smoke.
Terence Crawford, I see he wants to fight. He's made it clear. Do fights like that help your legacy, or do you feel like that's something that's not worth it to you?
Everything in my career, every fight make my legacy different and better. No, Terence Crawford is a great fighter. He's a good fighter, but like I say, he's a weight classes for a reason. I'm focused 100% on Berlanga, and you never know what happened.
Yeah.
Check out the projected odds that came out. One of the odds projectors say Canelo is opening up as the favorite, -130. Crawford is +100. That's damn near 50-50. Another one says Canelo Alvarez is the favorite, -185. Crawford is the underdog, only +55. Let me tell you something. If those are the odds on my bookie come day one, I'm max betting Canelo Alvarez. I could give a damn. Y'all mean to tell me that y'all think it's 50-50? I'ma empty my account on Canelo Alvarez. I don't have to bet KO, none of that shit. If y'all think it's that close, I'm gonna empty my account. $30,000, I can give a shit. I'm about to come up. I was gonna bet on Crawford, thinking he'd be the huge underdog. Y'all got it that narrow?
The potential fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford has become one of the most anticipated events in boxing. Fans are excited to see how the contrasting styles and weight classes of the 2 fighters will play out. Some enthusiasts are placing substantial bets on the outcome, with boxing commentator Showbiz the Adult reportedly betting $30,000 on the fight. This highlights the high stakes and widespread interest surrounding this potential showdown, making it even more thrilling for fans and bettors alike.